Old Celtic Farmer here. I guess you probably been wondering why I haven't been doing anything lately. I want to let you know that I really love the jelly buckets. The jelly bucket system is great if you're going to want to do a low foot imprint. The mass amount of food that can be distributed in a clean environment to where it looks nice and looks great. Recycled water, you're growing out of grow bags, etc., etc., etc. What I want to show you now is what I've been working on in these last 2 or 3 months, and it's a mess, but it's something that I'm working on, that I'm constantly looking for new ways of doing things. And there's 2 things that I have found. One is that people do a little bit of composting in your little compost bins, and you spend $50–$60 for a little composter, and you take what little scraps that you get from your family of 4 or whatever, and it turns into compost. And everybody out there in grow land knows that compost is the best thing. The second thing is what they do on a massive commercial scale, to where landfills and all your waste management companies, everybody, they pick up all this refuse and farmers, and they turned it into a mass turnaround scale. What I'm doing is I'm doing in between. If you have the land, if you keep it all nice and neat and everything, can you go somewhere in between? What you're looking at is an anaerobic seeded garden. What I've did, or I should say what I've done, sorry. What I've done is that I've got some barrels of produce that a lot of people want to get rid of. Examples: grocery stores, small chain grocery stores, food, farmers markets, restaurants, and stuff like that. And I got 50-gallon barrels. And what I have done over the last couple of months is I've turned this one here is an anaerobic, and I've turned that into this. And you talk about a highly multi experience. In here I've got peanuts and tomatoes and squash and cucumbers and watermelons and cantaloupes and papayas and taro and peas and beans, and you can see it is all growing. What I did is I took that, dug a pit, mixed in all of my greens of the produce and stuff like that, along with my browns, i.e. grass clippings, cardboard, leaves, branches, and then just kept it watered and let it grow. What I like about this is that in the time of need, this will come back year after year after year. It constantly self-feeds itself. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for somebody that's a novice. And the last thing that you want to do is to go into a homeowners associated development and dig up a huge pit in your backyard and toss a bunch of barrels of stuff in it and expect the neighbors to actually really love it. That it does take some time. If you have the space, if you have an area for it, then yeah, it's definitely something just to experiment with. Now, these are anaerobic. What anaerobic means is that you dig a pit, you throw your stuff in it, you cover it over. You got to watch out for the methane. You know, you kind of keep it a little bit aerated. Methane will build up, but basically you cap it with about 4 or 5 inches of dirt, and then you just let it digest. You just let it disintegrate, and it takes months. It takes almost probably about a year, and all this stuff will finally disintegrate down. But if you get nothing but pure produce and put in there, then you get a produce garden. Now, the difference between an anaerobic extreme garden and an aerobic extreme garden is an aerobic. You keep oxygen to it. You can either put it above ground, or what I do is I've got another one that I'll show you later on that is below ground, but I keep it stirred. I've got Faith, you know, my little John Deere tractor, and I go out there once a week and I'll stir it up and add more coffee grounds and eggshells here from the farm, and I'll add more grass clippings and leaves and stuff like that. You got to keep it stirred. Now an aerobic will dissolve and decompose faster than an anaerobic. Oxygen will get down in there and it really takes off, and I'll give you stuff like that later on. But again, you know, like I said, sorry I haven't been keeping up. I've been real busy working these things and had a little bit of problems. I had to work it out, and I got them finally worked out. So stay tuned. Y'all have a blessed day.